Welcome to the spoken tutorial on Add a budget and allocate funds. In this tutorial, we will learn how to add a budget, make a duplicate budget, and allocate funds. To record this tutorial, I am using Ubuntu Linux operating system 16.04 and Koha version 16.05. To follow this tutorial, learners should have knowledge of library science. To practice this tutorial, you should have Koha installed on your system and you should also have admin access in Koha. Please refer to the Koha spoken tutorial series on this website for more details. Let us go ahead and learn how to add a budget. Before we begin, let us understand what are budgets. Budgets are used for tracking accounting values related to acquisitions. A budget must be defined before a fund can be created. For example, create a budget for the current year 2017. Split it into funds for different areas such as books, journals, and databases. Please note, budgets can be either created from scratch or by duplicating any of the previous year's budget or by duplicating the immediate previous year's budget or by closing the immediate previous year's budget. As mentioned in earlier tutorials, log in with the superlibrarian username Bella and her password. On the Koha homepage, click on Acquisitions. From the options on the left side, click on Budgets. Now click on the tab New Budget. First, we have to choose the time period for this budget. Budget can be created for an academic year, fiscal year, or a quarter year, etc. I will create the budget for a fiscal year. Then choose the start and end dates. I will select start date as 01/4/2016, end date as 31/03/2017. Next, we have to give a description for our budget. This will help us to identify it later at the time of ordering. Here I will type Spoken Tutorial Library 2016-2017 Phase 1. In the amount box, we need to enter the amount for this particular budget. This is the total amount of money we are planning to spend in the given period for the Spoken Tutorial Library. Note that this field accepts only numerals and decimals. Special characters and symbols are not allowed. The amount we enter has to be as per the budget approved for that library. Here I will add rupees 5 lakhs as the amount. Next, click on Make a Budget active. On doing so, the budget becomes usable when placing orders in the Acquisitions module. And this remains so even if the order is placed after the budget end date. This will also allow us to record orders that were placed in the previous year's budget. Next is a checkbox for Lock Budget, which means funds cannot be modified later by the library staff. I will leave this checkbox blank. After all the entries are done, click on the Save button at the bottom of the page. A new page, Budgets Administration, opens up. Here we can see the details that were added earlier in the new budget page. The details visible on this page are: description under the tab Budget Name, start date, end date, total amount, and actions. We can also edit, delete, or duplicate a particular budget as required. To do so, click on the tab Actions located at the extreme right of that budget name. From the drop-down, select any of the options like Edit, Delete, Duplicate, Close, Add Fund. I will now show how to duplicate a budget. But before that, we must first learn why we should duplicate a budget. Suppose the budget amount and the amount of funds is same for the next financial year. In that case, we can simply duplicate the budget. This will help the library staff to save a lot of time and effort. Let's proceed and click on Duplicate. A new page, Duplicate Budget, opens. Enter the new start date and end date. I will enter the dates for the next year's budget. Start date as 01/4/2017. End date as 31/03/2018. Next is description. Description details should be such that it can be easily identified with a particular budget later. I will type Spoken Tutorial Library 2017-2018 Phase 2. You may enter something relevant for your library. In the field for Change Amounts By, enter the percentage that needs to be taken out from the previous year's budget, or carry forward the same amount. Recall that an amount of rupees 5 lakh was approved for the Spoken Tutorial Library. Hence, I will enter -20% to take out an amount of rupees 1 lakh. If amounts changed, round to a multiple of. I will leave this field blank. Going further, we have the checkbox for Mark the original budget as inactive. On doing so, the original budget can no longer be used. Again, I will leave this box blank. Lastly, we have the checkbox for Set all funds to 0. Check this box if you want the new budget to have the same fund structures as the previous budget. But please note, no allocations will be allowed until you manually enter an amount in the fund. I will leave this also as blank for now. After all the details are entered, click on Save Changes at the bottom of the page. The details entered for Duplicate Budget, Spoken Tutorial Library 2017-2018 Phase 2 appears on the Budgets Administration page. Let us now learn how to allocate funds for a fiscal year. On the Koha homepage, click on Acquisitions. Then on the left-hand side, click on Budgets. The Budget Administration page opens up. From the table, click on the particular budget name to which the fund has to be allocated. I will click on Spoken Tutorial Library 2016-2017 Phase 1. A new page, Funds for Spoken Tutorial Library 2016-2017 Phase 1, opens. Just above the funds for Spoken Tutorial Library 2016-2017 Phase 1, locate and click on the tab New. From the drop-down, select New Fund for Spoken Tutorial Library 2016-2017 Phase 1. In the new page that opens up, fill in the details such as Fund Code Books, Fund Name Books Fund. Enter the amount as 25,000. Warning at 10. For warning at amount, as I have already filled in warning at %, I will skip this field. I will also skip this field Owner and Users. For library, select Spoken Tutorial Library from the drop-down. I will leave Restrict Access to as it is. I will leave Statistic 1 Done On and Statistic 2 Done On blank. After all the details are filled, click on the Submit button at the bottom of the page. All the fund allocation details pertaining to the particular library now appears in a tabular form. You may now log out from your Koha Superlibrarian account. To do so, first go to the top right corner. Click on Spoken Tutorial Library. Then, from the drop-down, select Logout. Let us summarize. In this tutorial, we learned to add a budget, make a duplicate budget, and allocate funds. Assignment for budget. Add a new budget for financial year with budget allocation of Rs 50 lakhs. Assignment for allocation of funds. Allocate funds of Rs 20 lakhs for non-print material. The video at the following link summarizes the Spoken Tutorial project. Please download and watch it. The Spoken Tutorial project team conducts workshops and gives certificates. For more details, please write to us. Please post your timed queries in this forum. Spoken Tutorial project is funded by NMEICT MHRD Government of India. More information on this mission is available at this link. This is Bella Tony from IIT Bombay signing off. Thank you for joining.